Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Today, 15th of July, actually, if you don't know, is World Youth Skills Day. So that's why we thought this will be a great time for us to, number one, launch our software change, new batch, new round, and at the same time, also having our amazing founders to share what they've started, what challenged them, and what bring them their ideas to life. And together with us, we have got Komang and Komang maybe can wave his hand. So Komang is our latest winner. And maybe Komang, you want to introduce yourself in one or two sentences?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Greetings from Bali, Indonesia. I'm Komang, Sukarma, but you can call me Komang. It is very nice to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me to learn together here. I come from Tarunira as our social enterprise that I submitted in this application. So it is nice to meet you again.
And Komang,
Yeah, let's learn together.
would you like to let us know what does your social enterprise do? Who are you helping and what does it do?
Yeah, Tarunira is an impact-driven social enterprise based in Bali. We empower our local communities, especially our local farmers, women, and also youth from three remote villages. We call it Karangasem as the region three. And we had the abundance of Palmyra palm trees here. We produce organic Palmyra sugar by optimizing these Palmyra palm trees, and by this initiative, we also developed our initiation for ecotourism community.
So, if I summarize, right, what you do is that you help the farmers of the remote villages to use their palm products from the palm trees that they are planting, right? And from that, you make palm products like palm sugar, right? A healthier sugar, as well as do ecotourism. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm very happy to have you here. And also, can I call on Oyedemi, if I pronounce your name correctly? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, good morning from this side. I'm Dr. Busayo Oyedemi, or you can just call me Dorcas. And I am
Locust?
actually
Do
one
I
of the
call you
basically
do I call you Locust, you said?
Dorcas.
Dorcas. Okay, Dorcas.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty. Everyone can pronounce that because I believe it's English. So I'm the founder of Women of Exceptional Dates Forum, short from WED Forum. So we are a non-profit organization based in Nigeria, and our aim is to provide comprehensive sexual and reproductive health, education, training, skills to adolescents, teenagers, and youth. And the reason why we choose to focus on the SDG 3, 4, and 5 is basically young girls, basically the girls in Nigeria here, and also youth generally have little to no information about their sexual health, which predispose them to increased rates of teenage pregnancy. You have a lot of young persons coming down with sexually transmitted infection. And also being a medical doctor and worked in a low resource community, these
Right.
are one of the reasons why I'm passionate about bringing this information to these adolescents. When they have the information, they will be able to make right decisions as regards to their sexual health. Thank you.
Firstly, I'm so proud to have a female doctor leading this, reproduction health and sexual health education in Nigeria. So, and obviously, this is something so important for adolescents, especially. And thank you for sharing that. You've seen in your communities that this conversation is not really, being represented, right? And seeing
Yeah.
that as a need for you to come into have them educated. So thank you so much, and we will dive a little bit more on that. With that, I see Tolani here as well with us. So would you like to unmute and show your video and quickly introduce yourself? I'm not sure if she's able to do. Okay, Tolani, here we go.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Tolani Olawore. I'm from Nigeria, and I am the founder of EcoEd Connect. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Solve for Change team for inviting me to be on this panel today. So at EcoEd Connect, we are on a mission to raise the next generation of environmental leaders. So as we know, uh, climate change is a very serious problem on a global level, right? And growing up, I saw the effects of climate change like all around me, but people were not talking about it. And I did some research and found out that only 3 out of 10 Nigerians have ever heard of climate change. And I thought that, okay, those numbers were not good enough, right? So that was what inspired me to start my climate education focused nonprofit, EcoEd Connect, and we mostly focus on teaching young children, youths, students, like I said, focus on the next generation of environmental leaders. So I have a bachelor's in engineering and a master's in international management, but I have been working in the climate, environmental sustainability, and also environmental policy space for a while now. So that's just a brief intro about me. Thank you again to the team.
Thank you so much. And wow, we have very well educated team here. So thank you so much for the brief introduction. So maybe I will first start with Komang, right? Maybe you can share with me, where did your idea really come from, and how did you first started? Because many times, young people are telling us that they don't really know how to get started.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. That's a really good question, actually, and really such a clue to answer it. Like when we talk about the problem, actually, there's a lot of problems that we would like to see. But in Tarunira itself, it would be started with my own personal because I actually see what actually the village have, what actually the village has, and actually the problem exists. At the time in 2021, when I finished my study from university in the city, and one moment I still remember is when I joined a competition. I joined a competition is kind of to the theme is actually how actually you can scale up or optimize your local potential. And from that moment, I thought what actually thing that I could do with my own village. And from there, I started with the journey, like how to optimize the Palmyra palm trees and actually how this can be product to be sold out. And finally came back from the university and I started this moment. I mean, like when I came back, I still the problem still exists, and I invited my team, my local villagers, to form a team,
Mm.
and
So you
yeah,
involve them in your whole process,
yeah,
right? You have the idea
inform,
and then you ask them to come together. Is that right?
yeah, that's right. So my team and I finally get the solution of the Tarunira itself, and we were focusing on producing organic Palmyra sugar only. Until now, we have been empowering like more than 50 local villages in from 3 remote villages. Like
The 50
so like
villages, you mean?
yeah,
You,
I mean 50 villagers from 3 remote villages.
I
So
see.
like
We
the conclusion is because I know the problem, what actually exists in my village where I live from, and I found that there actually a big opportunity that we can develop more and more in the future. So yeah,
yeah.
actually
So,
that's actually the thing, the first thing.
okay. So basically you work with three remote villages, with the different people in the village, right? Because you know them. And just curious, like, what made you decide to focus on Palmyra sugar itself?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you've started selling them to cafes and hotels?
Yeah. At the first time, like at the first 6 months or at the first 1 year, I made a research, actually a very long research at the first time. Like we couldn't sell them to direct market like to
Yeah,
hotel or something. But actually, what actually the problem that I saw with my team, especially from the farmers, like
yeah,
they do not have any specific procedures or the hygiene and
yeah,
also
yeah.
sanitation,
They
like
don't
you
know the
know,
standards and
yeah,
process. Yeah.
they didn't know
Mm.
about the standards. So we would love to fix them first at the very beginning. Like
Ah,
we could sell our product like for our very first launch. I think in the next 2 year, I mean like the first year is especially for our research.
I see. I understand this.
Because yeah,
So you focus first on the research, the process, right? Then eventually get the products to the right level, then you are able to
yeah,
sell, right? Got it.
yeah, that's
And
correct.
now I'm gonna go over to Nigeria, to a doctor. So sexual health, right, as an issue is maybe a bit controversial in some cultures. So I imagine that you have some difficulties rolling and starting an initiative like that, right? Even though it's really important, but it is still a sensitive topic. So how did you do that? And maybe what is your hardest moment? Yeah.
Okay, just like you said, it's a controversial conversation, and one of the way I communicate the whole idea was to start with what everyone is familiar with, which is menstrual health. Everyone is familiar with talking about menstruation, but not everybody is comfortable talking about sexual health, especially for the age group of adolescents and young persons generally, because there's so many myths as regards religious bias and everything. When you talk about sexual health, it makes it seem as if promiscuity, you are promoting promiscuity.
Exactly,
So
right?
where do
Because
we
like the
yeah, so
religious, I understand because in your culture, right, there is the religious
yeah,
element, and people feel like, oh, if you talk about sexual health is promiscuous. It is funny,
yeah.
but a bit sad. But continue.
Yeah, so we have to look for a balance, and the balance is menstrual health. And another thing, which was something we had to bring into the conversation for us to talk about sexual health and its intersection with reproductive health. Coming from the angle of menstrual health, then we start talking about ignorance. If these young persons, whether male or female, don't have an idea of who they are, especially when it comes to their reproductive system, they make wrong decisions as regards to eventually when exploring. And then we come from the angle of every one of them actually have a phone. If we don't talk to them about it, if they are not well informed, they go online, search wrong things, and
Yes,
then become a victim of whatever they see. So whenever we are kind of reaching out, maybe to a community leader or to even maybe it's a school, we come from the angle of, oh, we are coming to speak to you about menstrual health and also debunk the myth surrounding sexual
so
health.
like
But we don't coin it
fit
in
it
sexual
in.
health. Yeah. So, but the way we put it to them, because we know rape is a conversation that everybody wants to protect themselves. Women, young people, even older adults are trying to protect their younger children on how to protect themselves against rape, against molestation, against just sexual abuse generally. So we also come from that angle. So communicating it, we come from the angle of when young persons actually are well informed as regards to their sexual health, they know how to protect themselves against sexual abuse. You keeping the information or making the information hidden from them is like putting them at the danger, because there are so many case scenario, or maybe generally
Yeah,
while growing up. And this is
yeah,
actually one of the reasons why I'm passionate about the sexual health, not just reproductive health,
yeah,
because reproductive health can be taught in school, but sexual health aspect is not being taught in school.
Yes,
And the reason why we are talking about it is because we realize basically the guys, basically the male gender, most of them don't even know the changes that happens to them. The early morning
I see.
bedwetting, what's it called, wet dreams, the wet dreams. Many persons have, like many young persons don't really know what it's all about. So
So
they,
it's not
and
just
because
the
we are in
women.
a culture,
It's not
yeah,
just
it's
the
not just
women. The men also don't
it's,
understand. So that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
actually your education is not only for
exactly,
women, but also for men. Now,
exactly.
just
For
curious
men, yeah.
then, what is your hardest moment, when running this venture or yeah, what is your hardest
Okay,
moment?
so basically, because many communities in Nigeria, as I said, the population of women-led organization, whether schools or even community leaders, the major populations men. So to come in the angle that you are bringing something for the women, there's this bias in their mind that, oh, you want to make our children promiscuous and all. So, or you may want to make our teenagers, youths promiscuous. So there's that angle where we come to a partnership with a women-led organization or women-led community leaders. We
Mm,
have community leaders who are women, like the let me say the market women. Now maybe want to give an orientation, want to assess their the young children in the community. So we partner with like the significant people in the community. So the challenge is breaking through to communities that are actually men-led, that are led by the
I
men.
see.
And
So,
because
so, so your
most
biggest
men
challenge
leaders are very restrictive.
Sorry, your biggest challenge is to
Yeah,
break into community. So your way to do it is to look for women leaders, right? To go into the
yeah,
community.
yeah,
But your biggest
exactly.
challenge is to go into community that are male-led. So how do you
Yeah.
overcome that challenge?
Oh, that's the thing. So the way I've been able to overcome that is to partner with women-led in the
I
organizations
see.
or key
So
stakeholders, majorly key stakeholders in the communities, like the market women or like a headmistress, or because basically we do schools. So one of the other thing we do is that we partner with the teachers who are female, and then the female teacher kind of introduce us to the principal,
I
and then
see.
that makes it even more effective. But
I
going directly to the school as well, there's also this incentive model that has been introduced. So it makes it acceptable to even to the school, because they don't want us to just come give them information. Can we also like give like a mentorship? Is there a continuity? So because that's actually one model that many organizations actually don't include, which is continuous mentorship,
yeah.
and that's
So
actually how we've been able to break through. Yeah,
I see. So not just one off, right? A continuous
yeah,
membership, I hear you
yeah,
saying, and also usually focusing on either female-led organizations, or if it's organizations led by men, look for the women inside the team, right? And
yeah,
work with them. I
yeah,
think that is really smart, doctor. So I'm just gonna go
yeah.
over to Lani and ask you as well the same question. What was your most difficult challenge? You've touched already where your idea came from. So what was the hardest challenge that you have faced so far?
All right, thank you so much, Janine. I would say one of the challenges we faced especially at the beginning, was getting the buy-in from the general community, right? Because climate change is not a topic that I would say is top priority for a lot of people. Okay, so it's like, please, we don't really care about what's going to happen to the planet in 50 years. Can I see food I'm going to eat tomorrow? That sort of thing. So it's more like it didn't seem like a something that should be like a present pressing need for them, because understandably so, they had like more serious problems. So Nigeria is a developing uh economy, and we're still dealing with like issues around like poverty, issues around like healthcare, education. So you can almost say that people have like, in quotes, more serious problems to worry about, and climate change is not like top of the priority, right? So getting people to understand, to see like, oh, this is important, and it's important that we talk about this here, and it's when I will talk about it now, and also why we try to focus on younger people because there are uh more likely to be open to the ideas,
I
right?
see.
So because our
Because they are
experience, some
going to
people
be
maybe like
alive
elderly.
longer. Is it because they're going to be alive longer? So they care more about the planet. Is that
Exactly.
why?
So, exactly that sort of
Okay.
thing. And you could, and also like, referencing it back to me, why I became interested in the whole climate change thing was back to a class I had in primary school, and I had a science teacher that was talking about, I think, ozone layer depletion then, and he must have done a very, very, very good job because that was what sowed that seed of interest in my heart that I ended up like, pursuing. So I feel like, okay, fine. It seems like that's like the best stage, like I catch them young in a sense to just get people interested in this, right? So we
Well,
just
well,
had to you
while
want to say
you're
something?
there, yeah, while you're there, you mentioned so basically it's hard to get the climate change message through, and then you focus on the younger people, right? So I'm just curious, like since
Yeah.
you have and that idea came from even from primary school until now. So I'm just was there something that surprised you when running your venture? Or, have you ever had some self-doubt along the way since that is so many people thinking, climate's not important?
Yeah, sure. Especially since like when I started, like I didn't know very many people around me that were doing similar things, right? It was only like afterwards that I found like, oh, there's like a whole entire ecosystem of people that are like working around it. I just like, it was just something that really worried me because I could see the effects on like on a personal level, like the floodings and all of that we got to experience regularly. So there was some self-doubt, and at first it was just me. Like I was just the one doing all the work by myself, going to the schools by myself. Um, but I think one of the things that surprised me when I actually like tried to put out like a call for help in a sense of volunteers, I was actually surprised by just how many other young people felt the same way, right? And they were willing to like help and they were willing to like support and work on the vision with me. So
Mm.
um also I remember when we went to like a school that was supposedly like a really good school, right? A really good school. And we're talking to the students and um they should be between like 12 and 15. And we asked
Yeah.
them, oh, has anyone here ever heard about climate change? And everybody said no,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And
Okay. We're not gonna
like
say
this
which
is
school
this
it is.
this
Okay.
this person, they said no, they have never heard about climate change. And it
Mm.
just kind of like
Surprised you
re-emphasized
really, right?
yes, surprised me again, just like how important the work is and just like how much more ground is left to cover.
Thank you so much for sharing this. Wow, amazing journey. And I'm just gonna go over to Komang as well. Like maybe for palm, maybe you don't farming, maybe you don't have so much of the community saying that this is not relevant, right? Because it's livelihood, correct? So you don't have that type of difficulty, but surely you have other challenges. So what is the hardest challenge or difficulty that you've experienced actually, Komang?
Yeah. As mentions others, like maybe a similar challenge, like I would like to highlight here is actually how we can connect and engage with our local communities is a kind of very hard challenge because like we have different backgrounds. I'm sorry, we have different mindset for the local communities that don't know really about what actually the innovation or management and how actually we can bring the Palmyra sugar itself to be scaled up with the, let's say, from the premium packaging, for example. Like that's kind of parts that are really, I find it challenging, but also very really fun activities because I love challenge myself as well as yeah, you can say like, oh, you are the owner, blah blah blah. But actually, this is a kind of very important part. to finally meet up what actually the fit solution, what the best solution actually we can put into the problem that they actually are facing.
So, so
One fun.
what people tell you is, you are too young to do this. Is it like
Okay.
those other, is that the different challenge that you faced? Yeah.
It could be like the first thing that I really almost found in the village is when I visited, for example, visited the farmer's house by house. Like, what actually makes you come here? Like, okay, you are doing business or something. Like, my solution or my strategy is I involve myself as their children because in Taruna itself we actually working with a lot of elders, not really with the youths. Like
Oh, the young people. Yeah.
almost 80% we are working with the elders, like the parents of the children. The youths, because the youths, I know that the almost most of the youth here in the village actually already gone. I mean, like they already went to the city, went to the
Mm,
abroad actually. So I
yeah.
think this is the best opportunity to make these elders, the parents themselves, to be our team.
So
To make.
if I understand
Mm,
you correctly, because in the different villages in Bali, right, the children they actually go other places to work because the village is too remote, right? Or they go
yeah,
overseas to work. So left in the village only are the elderly people who are farming at the moment, right? So you go there, you kind of like become like their children, is it? To convince
yeah,
them. Is that correct?
yeah. You can say that. I mean, like,
Okay.
I clarify here, and not all of the youths went to the overseas or went to the city for the jobs. Like, the ratio or the portion of the elders and their children is actually not balanced. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot find any youth anymore here. Like, want to work with Tarunira like this, like
Yeah.
farming
No,
or
no,
something.
no young generation want to work
No
in
young
farming,
generation, yeah, not
except
really
you,
young
right?
generation, yeah.
I see.
And this is a part of the challenges, the harder challenges, but also the part of I really like the most because I am their children. I am the child, as their child. So to make connection and also to make communication is actually easy. Like,
I
like,
see.
mom, I have something like this. So we don't talk about business at the first time. We talk
Mm,
about how actually you are doing, what actually your background is, what actually your challenge as a parent, blah blah blah. And
yeah.
you know what, I involved myself as a step immersion. Like I stayed with them like for 3 4 nights. I
You,
didn't go home.
so you
Even
stay
I
with
let
the farmers you go visit three, four
Yeah,
nights.
yeah, yeah, like
Okay.
house by house because I really wanted to know what actually their thoughts, their daily activities. Even I come from here, I know what actually um they are doing, but because we had from different village, this
Mm,
actually what I don't mention before. I come from Tianyar Barat village. We call it West Tianyar village. But the people that are empowering with is actually in the east one, in the middle one. So
yes.
I moved there like 30 minutes or one
And
hour
stay there.
and and stay there
Stay
and
there
yeah.
and become their children. So you have a lot of mothers and fathers in different
Yeah,
villages.
yes, exactly. I have a
I
lot of
see.
mothers and fathers there. So when I see there is connection among us, oh, this is the time we talk about the business. I mean, like
I
we
see.
do it by really professional, like what actually
Yeah.
Tarunar is, what
Yeah.
actually our vision, mission, what
Yeah.
actually plans that we are going to do. So
I
we explain everything in a very clear way
I see.
and a clear solutions what actually we can do together. So that's actually the point when actually that's the first step,
I see.
this the beginning that I finally did with my team.
I think Komang, like
like
what I
that.
hear is that you first build the relationship first, right? To convince the mothers and the fathers in the different village, right? And then start to talk, explain your business concept to them, right? Yeah, I think that's a really, really smart way to go. I love that. So I just want to ask you, right? As you apply for this grant, or maybe you guys are going to apply for many other grants in the future, or launch different business lines and so on, right? So, any of you have somebody tell you your idea was not good enough? Raise your hand. Any three of you? Any of you? Has anybody told you your idea is not good enough? Oh wow, nobody?
uh,
Everybody, yeah, you,
Me,
Komang?
uh,
Okay. So what?
not Tarunira yourself. Before I came to Tarunira, I actually built my enterprise called Chilota Bali. So actually, that was the very, very first time I built my business when I was in college. So I made handicrafts from Palmyra palm leaves as well, but that's handicraft. What actually I found that question when I was in very first launch, like, common you created this handicrafts, like, do you have any market or something, blah 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 blah. And okay, I created because there is my friends actually want this craft. I mean, like, it's very specific customers to have this handicraft, and I was very confident to bring this handicraft in the market because I had my friends already asked
You
to
already
to
have
make this
customer.
handicraft. Yeah, I already I have my customer from my friends, so that's all. Like, okay, it's okay. Then I can keep doing this until pandemic. Actually,
Yeah.
after pandemic, I convert or I make change to be Palmyra Sugar as our main product.
I got it. So basically, somebody told you, "Hey, are you sure you want to do handicraft? Do you have the market?" But you already have the market, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna ask Esther to put in the feedback form in the chat, and I would love everybody here to give us some feedback or things maybe that you want to ask for us to address in next sessions. We have a judges panel session I think end of this month. So for any of you who want to join us to ask the judges themselves why they choose different ventures. So actually with that, I'm just going to go over to Doctor. So what is next for, your initiative, and also, what is next for your initiative? What's next for your venture? Doctor, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I was trying to get across someone. Basically, for us, because we realize the limitation that comes with um non-profit organization, and we are kind of pioneering into social enterprise basically. So we are embarking on full business, like a full enterprise, where we have a venture called Ahalai. It's actually an extension of the non-profit organization, but going to different communities and meeting the needs of youth, teenagers, we realize that they also need services, because we have questions about young persons requesting for contraceptive, asking for drugs. But because we are in the sector of non-profit, you can't really, whatever you are giving it for free. And we realize that it's not really
Yeah.
sustainable when
No,
at every point in time you have to depend on grants and all. So
no.
we just have to look for a way to also generate funds. And that's why we are currently pioneering an initiative called Ahalai. Is already incorporated into the NGO, but now it's a social enterprise called Ahalai. We are registered, we have a website, and we are going to be fully blown by August. And also currently, there's a program we run, because we realize that we can't just do the initiative all by ourselves. If we want to empower and reach larger audience, we need
Mm,
to we need to keep training other young persons. to extend this initiative. So we do what we call SRH fellowships. It's like a fellowship program. We had the first of it, that was last year, in February last year, and then we also had in August. So now we are doing it like an annual program. So every August, so next month by August, we're going to be training young persons on how to be a effective advocate for sexual and reproductive health and rights of women, of youth, and also for the general population generally. So that training, it comes with training them, equipping them with the resources they need on how to gain community entry, how to go for partnership, how to partner with other organizations, how to even scale up their initiative. Because one thing we realize that you as an individual, you can have the vision, but you need a team. You also need people that you can work with. And I would like to say this grant, for this Soft for Change grant, it was from our previous cohort of the fellowship program. So everyone applied. They applied different, the fellowship program we had last year, August, they applied for this fellowship. So all I just did was to champion them, give them a template of what to do, while the team of the fellowship actually apply from different sector. So apply, no, you answer different section, and that is actually how they get their certificate. So they can say, I was able to apply for a grant and I get this, and then they even attach it to their what's called their CV to even get more opportunity to work in other organization. So it's not just, yes, it's a one-off fellowship program, but it gives them the opportunity to to
start.
participate in to start and to participate in real world impact. So it's not just about just giving them the fellowship opportunity, but being able to participate in the real problem solving, like bringing their own
Fantastic.
solution to it. So that's actually how the next program we have on the platform.
We look forward to hearing from you. I hear that you are doing your social enterprise, you're doing this fellowship,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad that our grant last year actually helped you to do that. And you are one of the alumni, right? So how has it been like, watching the program grow since your batch, and now we have, versus Komang and what Tolani has. What are your thoughts? What has it been like?
Okay, so for me, basically, it's been interesting. It's been interesting, but I think what would be maybe for any other person that wants to apply for opportunities like this, it's do it with your team. Don't apply for grants generally. Don't do it by yourself. Have a team. Have a structure that you are working with. Yes, you might be the one with the idea. Have all everything you want to do, you have it written down already, but it can really be overwhelming, especially when you've been applying for grants for so long and have been getting a rejection. But this time, just you can just have like a new perspective, have a real problem that you are really solving, not just an idea you just pick up. Really have a problem that it's something that you can is really going to you have a solution that you're actually taking back to your community, not something scrabbled, you've not tested it before, or it's just an idea that you've not really seen any other person do it before. Sometimes you might not have executed it before, or you've not even done it before, but you've seen people do something like that and that's an impact. It's enough for you to just embark on the grant applications. So that's one advice I would give to anyone planning to apply for this grant. And also be open-minded. Don't be restrictive with your solution. Don't try to use a lot of vocabulary. Be as simple as possible. And sincerely, like, just be as simple as possible. Like, just see as if, oh, I'm going to community, I'm reaching like 50 women, something as simple like that. And know, how do you want to communicate to them? What terms are you going to use? What English? Like, just be as simple as possible. Something, because I believe that's actually what many grants funders actually miss out on. Many funders actually miss out on the how to communicate the information. And I understand why you need to use so many AI tools to refine your thoughts, but basically let it be an original idea, not something that you just pick up somewhere and you just want to scale up. Let it be an original idea. Let it be a real problem that you want to solve. But really, really, I'm really grateful because we're also part of the organization that got an additional fund. And I didn't take this for granted because it's one of the way we've been able to scale up our impact. Initially, we were planning to reach just few schools within our locality, within Lagos, but now we are extending to even low resource community like Ogbomoso. And this is where, like, the real problem is, because that is where I actually experienced a lot of teenage pregnancy. And now we're extending it back to the community. And it's really something very, what's it called? Very mind blowing, because seeing where the problem is and you're able to provide solution there, it's something beyond understanding, because you can practically measure your impact. Because at the long run, based on the model we also operate on, which involve mentorship, it's easier to say, oh, at the long run, we have this young person in our community, and we can measure the impact of the project even as far back as for next 2 years. We can measure the impact, and which is actually all thanks to Solve for Change for making it possible for us. And I just want to say thank you, and also wish everyone applying to just be positive. Generally, I believe the support system the organization offer is mind blowing, and for us, especially in Nigeria, and which is a low resource community, we actually and these resources can actually be a booster to boost what the impact of what we have been working on. Thank you very much.
Doctor, I am just I really enjoyed all your words of wisdom, right? Because there are people who are, lack of confidence to even start, or don't trust themselves, and like you said, make their applications really complicated. But also, one very important point for everybody tuning in, right, is that once you apply with us, whether you win or not, right, you will be showcased on our website, right? And especially, make sure that you present yourself well, because there are also opportunities for follow-on funding, like what Doctor has experienced, right? Because you showcase your work, we are committed here to showcasing the best you are doing. So we have got other founders who have been connected to either follow-on funding or clients. So that's actually what we commit to do. And we would love to have your feedback too, to do better. And which is why we are organizing a judges panel for the judges to share what they are looking for the ventures. And Esther, maybe you can also share the registration for the judges panel here in the chat box. And I'm just going to go over to Tolani here. So maybe share with us what's next for your venture, and also like what Doctor has shared. What is some advice that you would give for somebody who wants to apply or who's thinking to apply for Solve for Change?
Okay, so what's next for my venture? We are looking to strengthen our network of green schools, and also planning to put together like um a hub, like an innovation hub of, or like a network of sorts of other climate educators in this space, where we can co-create solutions together, share ideas together, that sort of thing. Because this is not like there's not like a battle that can be won by one person, especially in an ecosystem of yours, like an ecosystem like ours, right? So we're looking to put together like a system in place that would allow us to collaborate with other people who are um doing similar stuff, right? Because I feel like even if we all do little, but we do it together, then we can all do much. So what I would recommend to someone who is looking to apply for Solve for Change would be, first of all, believe in the value that you're looking to provide, because that would help you articulate it clearly, right? And in a convincing way. Okay, then you want to make sure that you are showing part of the work that you've already done. So it's good to say like, oh, I've done A, B, C, D, E, F. But if maybe you have like proof, you have like evidence, you have reports, or you have pictures, or you have videos that you can, in a sense, incorporate into your application, just to give you like that additional boost, that would be great. Then you want to make sure your idea is very clear, right? Especially if it's in a very niche field or niche category that other people may not be very familiar with. You want to make sure that even if the people reviewing your applications have never heard of anything around what you're doing before, when they read your idea or when they read your application, it is clear enough that they're able to like grasp the concept of what you're trying to communicate or what you're trying to do. So yeah, these are just like some of the tips that I think would help. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to go over to Komang as well. Like, what's next for your venture, and what is some advice for somebody who is thinking of applying for Solve for Change?
Thank you for the question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Hmm.
So,
I
what do
sat down in the garden. Our next venture is actually there is no new venture or created something new from the Tarunira itself, but maybe the value and also the agenda and the programs that we would like to continue in the upcoming years. Like the first one, some to mention, the first one is we now would like to make expansion for our local farmers, empowerment. Like we are going now to NTT, Nusa Tenggara Timur. There is also there are two villages that actually has a big abundant of Palmyra palm trees
Mm.
there that they need help to what actually we can do together to optimize their Palmyra palm trees. And also, we are concerning now about the market demand with the tour and the workshop. And we just launched the workshop and eco tour in Bali in Tarunira. So we would like to continue that. We would like to give more opportunity to our local Palmyra farmers to have the house or have the place to actually we can uplift our skill set and share with our travelers or to our visitors that would like to know what actually we are doing and etc. And the next one is actually the product innovation because we are a manufacturer based social enterprise. Like we would love to make more innovative product diversification. Like we are now actually going to develop modified cassava flour or mocha that would be our bundling package for our product in the market. So like because that's also our market demand and request for our B2B partners in Bali and Indonesia.
So,
Other than that, is
yep.
yeah, other than that is actually the point is we want to keep this initiative, what actually Tarnira is doing now, continue with the added value and also what actually we can sustain the core of the value is that like we now decided we also recycle our agricultural waste, the Palmyra sugar waste and something to be our organic fertilizer and etc. So how actually the sustainability, the waste management, the innovation, and the environment can connect each other um, by by by
Mm.
turning by turning the problem into solution that we could as possible. So like
Well,
I think that's all. Like
sounds like you and Tolani has some things to talk about because you are trying to recycle waste and she's trying to
yeah
drive clean green economy, right? So now Esther, can I just trouble you to put the application form for the next round into the chat box? While Komang, I would love you to give advice. What advice would you give for somebody who would like to apply to solve for change?
yeah. I think this is one of the best opportunity for you or those who want to promote and also scale up their business in terms at that a very early entrepreneurs or would love to uh, mm, let everyone knows what actually your idea. I think software chain is one of application that you can try. For my insight is just believe in your idea, just believe in yourself that you if you think that you can change thing a thing from a very small action that it could be one point that you actually step forward on the application wherever you want to go to. Like because in Taruna, except I myself, for example, like I always see that to do something big that then you have to think at the very small action first. So just look around to your environment, to your family, to your friends, and find what actually the problem very urgent to solve that. Then actually that's actually the thing as a beginning for you to start. So just keep up what actually you believe. Thank you. That's all from my
Thank you.
side.
Thank you, Komang. So I'm just gonna ask, open to questions. Please type in your questions in the chat box. I've seen somebody asking for certificate. So if you need certificate, please email us. Yeah, for the certificate. Maybe Esther, you can put your email address down there. All right. So I'm just going to wrap up with one last question, right? And for everybody to just give us one or two sentences. So. What is your hope, for the youth, and maybe what is the best way for people to support youth, right? So I'm going to start with Doctor.
Yeah, I think it should be funding. Many youths have the right knowledge because we are in an environment where, or we're in a culture where, we have the millennials, we have the baby boomers and all, and they're still the one holding the resources that the youth needs. So I think for my one word is youth need funding for them to, implement their ideas, to implement their original ideas, because most of these youths that you see them, they are very technical, they have knowledge, they have the skills they need. So I think what I would like the older generations, the baby boomer, millennials, and older ones who have the resources to give more funding to the youth, because the youths are empowered enough to scale up. There's this ripple effect that comes with when youth are empowered, because their mind is sharp, they have less thing they are worrying about because as and because their mind is sharp generally, and they are very good with technology. So, and one thing we should know is this, that when youth are empowered, the right funding, there's and then with their skills with technology, it scale up the impact in a in ripple effect. Like it's like the effect is beyond understanding. So I would say give the youth the funding for them to scale up their idea. Thank you.
Well, we hear you, and that's why we are here, Solve for Change. So please do share our grant opportunities to your networks. But thank you so much for your input. If anybody have questions, please do type into the chat box. And with that, I'm just gonna go to Tolani. What is your hope for the youth, and how can people best support youth?
Okay. So, like Dr. Busayo said, right? A lot of people talk about, oh, like youth empowerment, youth perspective, and all of that. But if we're being honest, a lot of the resources and the decision-making power in most cases are not really with the youth. And a lot of times you have to like attend conferences and you're in meetings and policy deliberations where people are like planning a future. And the people who are like talking about this future are not going to spend as much time in it as you are, right? So I feel like there is a lot of work that needs to be done on various levels just to incorporate more youth voices and more youth perspectives. But one thing that you as a young person can do for yourself is try to stay grounded in like your knowledge or your expertise. Passion is good, but passion is not enough, right? I always tell young people, don't be an enthusiastic amateur. Okay, so that when the opportunities finally come, when you finally get the opportunity to step into those rooms or speak to certain people, or when you finally get the funding that you're looking for, you'll be able to like utilize these opportunities in a way that actually makes a real difference and create like a system that you can continue to leverage on, right? And I would also say don't look down on little beginnings. It may be like maybe a small project that you're working on in like a small community and no one knows about you, no one knows about the work that you're doing. Just keep at it, right? Just don't chase the fame in a sense. Just take the time to build a track record. If you are actually doing the work and it's visible that you're doing the work, over time, people will be the one looking for you, right? So, any opportunity that you have, maybe you get like a little amount of funding from an organization or from a sponsor or from a donor, use it to actually do the work and do good work. Now that's something that you can now leverage on for like bigger opportunities because now you have like evidence, you have like proof of execution and that sort of thing, right? So don't be an enthusiastic amateur, put in the work. It's hard work. It's development work is not very attractive, right? It's not what you call in quote a sexy career. Okay, if you're here, it's because you believe that you actually have capacity to cause change in the world and cause change in your environment. So even though,
Tolani,
well, we're
you
not doing
are
it for the
like, sorry, go ahead, continue.
yes. So even if we're not doing it for the acclaim, right, or for the awards, or if those things come, good and fine, right? So never lose sight of the problem you're trying to solve, or the people that you're trying to help, and eventually, everything is going to fall into place. So yeah,
Tolani, you are
thank you.
like what, 20 going on to 60. Your advice is so grounded, right? In a world where everybody is looking for fame on social media and so on, people over often don't think about doing the work. So I really like that part, that grounded part. So thank you so much. And over to Kamang. Let's wrap up. What are some hope that you hope for the youth? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more what actually Tolani and Doctor said. But nothing much to from me. I think two words like commitment and persistence could be your two key ways that you have to hold on yourself. And where in this era like technology, resources, knowledge, education, like actually you can get for free. And I mean like very different what we had been seeing in the past 10 or 20 years ago. Like this is a very good opportunity for you, especially for youth to use optimally what actually you can do with with your passion and what actually you think that you want to do. Just feel free like this is time for me. This is time for us to change or to do what actually we want to do by the results that already provided, but elaborated with your confidence and commitment and also your persistence. I think that's all from my side. Thank you
All
so much.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Komang. Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, Tolani, so much for your time to share. And I hope all of you are as inspired as I am, and and take that action. Don't doubt yourself, right? Believe in yourself, believe in your idea. And we are here to help you. All the very best. And thank you, and take care.
Thank you so much, Jenny, and
Thank
all of
you.
you.
It's been such a
See you
pleasure
next
meeting three
day.
of you. So very wise young people. We are really proud to be here to support all of you here. Okay.
Thank
I'm
you so
just going to end.
much.
And, you are always in our community, and, there is always a follow-on funding opportunity. So, yeah. With that, we're going to wrap up, and Esther, yeah, share the last upcoming events. This is the first time we are doing really exciting things to support everybody, including helping you to write your proposal. So we have on 20th of July proposal writing tutorial, and then we also have judges panel. I'm sure Doctor was hoping you have all this when you were applying, right? right? But now we do. And we are also thinking to have what we call office hours consultation with the judges. So, it will be just short 10 minutes consultation with the judges, and so that you can ask any questions or get some feedback before you submit. So I hope you guys are all excited about this. And please do give us your feedback by filling up our survey and also sign up for the upcoming sessions. With that, have a great day, everybody, and see you soon on the 20th of July. Take care. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye.